Another episode of All Things Sky Blue. We're live from the Anecdote. My name's Mark Smith. Tonight we'll be previewing our home match against Swansea City. Just a quick note before we go into the game itself. We're delighted to be announced as on the shortlist for the Best Club Podcast for 2023. So thank you to those who voted for us on our behalf. The link, if you go to our Twitter page, All Things Sky Blue, you'll see a link there to vote for All Things Sky Blue as Best Podcast. So the more votes you can give us, the better. It would be greatly appreciated if you can vote for us. Okay, so we're going to talk about tonight's game against Swansea. So team lineup, Mike Roberts made quite a few changes to this game. It's a team of Brad Collins, Joel Lassie-Baudier, Bobby Thomas, Louis Binks, who's coming for Liam Kitchen, has obviously suspended. His red card has been upheld and has not been rescinded. Jada Silver comes in for Chase Bidwell. We've got Jamie Adams returning to the side with Ben Sheaf back in his team as captain. Casey Palmer makes his first start for quite a while. Tatsu Sakamoto is starting tonight with Haji Wright playing on the left-hand side and then Godwin up front on his own. And tonight I've been joined by the gang, the fellow All Things Sky Blue gang. Got Josh with me. Josh, what's your thoughts on tonight's team?
An interesting one. I think there's about 5 changes in there. I didn't expect the likes of De Silva to come in, the likes of Palmer, Binks as well, was kind of expected. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game. I'm hopeful that we can beat Swansea for the first time in about 40 years.
We always seem to struggle against teams playing in white, don't we? That's the thing I've noticed. I'm hoping it's not a recurring pattern. And obviously, last time we played Swansea at home, we were 3-0 up. We drew 3-3. Do you feel confident we can get that result tonight?
I mean, Stuart will tell you that result still kills me. I don't get why we win. Drew, sorry. But yeah, I think tonight, I don't think they've got a manager. I think that we're in a good run of form, and I think it's one of those games where I can see us winning by 2 or 3.
Obviously Swansea last time out 5-0 defeat against Southampton. Do you think it's a game where it could be kind of a dangerous game in the sense that they might want to prove a point to the manager and their fans for a better team than what that result suggested?
Yeah, they're coming here with nothing to lose, and I think in those situations we can be under the caution a little bit. But I think that we've got to focus on ourselves. We've got to remember that we're in a good run of form. I think it's no losses in about 8-9 games for us. So we're in a good place, and I think we'll do well today.
And do you think, obviously, with Kitchen being suspended and Louis Binks coming to the team, do you think that might have a good or bad impact on our defence? Do you think it makes any difference to the team?
I don't think it does. I think Binks will come in. He's ready to prove a point. He'll want to prove a point to himself, to Robbins, and yeah, I think he'll do well. I've been really impressed with him so far. I think it's a little bit harsh on him that he's been dropped, but I think he'll come good today. I think he'll do really well.
Okay, and give us your match predictions for tonight's game.
I'm going to go 3-1 to us.
Yeah, I like the positivity. Thank you very much. I've been also joined by Sky Blue Hub, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate.
What's your thoughts on tonight's team?
I expected changes. I didn't expect the volume of changes that he's made. But I get the logic. We've got Middlesbrough on Monday. They've got a lot of injuries. They're not going to be able to rotate as much as we have, and it might benefit us on Monday having the fresh legs. But ultimately, we've got to win today. Today is massive. We win, and we've got a chance of possibly being in the top 6 or very near to the top 6 going into New Year's Day against Borough. So yeah, it's a massive game. We've got to win. It doesn't really matter how we play today. It's win at the moment, and I think we kind of fell into the trap on against Boxing Day and Sheffield Wednesday, where we kind of coasted a bit. It was a bit too easy for us. I don't think we could do that today. If we go 1-0 up, last season showed that we were 3-0 up and nearly threw the game away to lose 4-3. So they're a good side, Swansea, but they're in a bit of transition like we are. I don't think they're the best team. They've made loads of changes. They've left Yates out. They've left Patino out. They've left Lowe out. We've got a decent bench, but we've got to make sure we win the game. And yeah, just don't care 1-0. Don't care, just win it. That's all that matters. Didn't go for 89th or first minute we scored, just win it.
Yeah. Obviously, last time out Swansea, they lost 5-0 to Southampton. Do you think it's a good time to play them, or do you think it's potentially a dangerous time to play them because they're going to bring a point to the manager?
I think with our record against Swansea, there's never a good time to play them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They always seem to turn up, and they've got obviously Jamie Patterson playing tonight, who tends to score against us. They've got Liam Walsh, and it'd just be typical Liam Walsh roll back the years and put in a performance he did when he was in Sky Blue today. So yeah, and Yates always tends to score against us. I think it's three in his last 3 against us. So
I think he scored against us at Swansea stage.
Yeah, and then I think he scored both games for Blackpool against us last season. So yeah, he's going to be a threat off the bench. But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's all about us. Swansea can do whatever they like. We do our job and we play to the levels we can. And yeah, we can click. It just will the changes mean we're not as fluid as we have been. Can
you understand the number of changes? Bearing in mind we've got Middlesbrough obviously playing on Monday. Do you think it's the right thing Mark was done by just mixing and matching, giving minutes to the players, or do you think it's a bit strange?
It's the right thing if we get a result.
Yeah.
If we don't get a result, then the fingers are pointed at Robbins. But how many times have we sat and looked at a team and gone, what the hell's Mark Robbins doing? And ultimately he's proved right. I think the only time he's kind of backfired on him recently was Ipswich away. And we looked at the team against Leeds and went, that's very defensive, very negative.
Yeah.
And arguably we could have won that. So, yeah, if it pays off, it'll work for us. But I think it's midfield. Midfield's going to be the key. Walsh, Patterson and Grimes up against Sheaf, Allen and Palmer. Whoever comes out on top from those 3, I think will win the game, really.
Okay, give us a prediction for this game.
I think we'll break our comeback up. We don't win from behind, Hoodoo, and we'll win 2-1. So I think Sims will score the winner.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so that's the view of the Sky Blue Hub, who knows as Glenn. I think I can understand it. I mean, from my point of view, I can understand the team selection. I think we've played a lot of games in a short space of time, so I'm backing the manager's judgment. But as Ben rightly says, it's about results, and hopefully we can get that result tonight. So fingers crossed on that one. Okay, so we've got one more guest. We've got Stuart to bring in. Who's going to give his thoughts on tonight's game. Stuart, as we just discussed earlier, there's been a lot of changes from the Sheffield Wednesday game. Do you think them changes are necessary ahead of sort of Monday, and the fact we played quite a few games recently?
Yeah, I think so. We've got to rotate, haven't we? I think with the players that we've got. Binks hasn't had much game time. Me personally, I think that Binks is arguably slightly better than Kitchen on the ball. I think Kitchen's probably a better version of Fads in terms of being an out-and-out defender. I think Binks is a little bit better on the ball. It's just whether the connection between Collins, Thomas, and Binks works as well as Collins, Kitchen, and Thomas. So it's new. So that's where we can possibly become undone a little bit in not knowing how the other one plays. But I think whoever we put in there, as long as we perform to our ability, like I've said before, I think we'll beat most teams. I think tonight's going to be a little bit harder than what we actually think it's going to be. But yeah, I think the changes are needed. We've got to give people rest. We can't keep, absolutely battering these players and playing every single game, because we'd moan to Robbins that they weren't getting a rest and to try somebody else. So I think it's needed. And look, if we come away with a loss, we come away with a loss, but it's not going to be for the fact that we don't try. I think if we try and we play like we can and we have, then we win the game. I think it's that simple. It's about what we do, not about what they do.
So question I've got is, for me, is I noticed that Matty Godden is starting again instead of Ellis Sims. What do you make of that? Do you think, if you're Ellis Sims, you kind of thinking, what have I got to do to get in the team, or do you think it's the right decision that, because although Matty Godden has obviously scored more goals, he may have had more minutes than Ellis Sims. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky one, really, because like you just said, Godden's, one of our top goal scorers, and Sims really hasn't had the minutes. I think against Sheffield Wednesday, I think he can feel probably unjust that he hasn't started against Wednesday, because against Leeds and Southampton, I thought he was starting to turn a corner, and his movement and he's helped in a few games. But again, Godden hasn't played in a few games, and they've got to have fresh legs when they come on. So hopefully he's an impact player when we're, hopefully 2-3-0 up. And we're trying to see the game out. But like I said, I think it's going to be a closer game than we think, and I think it's going to be a 1-0 win. That's going to be my prediction. Goal scorer. It's hard to say with goal scorers. I think at the moment you've got to say Sakamoto because he's on fire. Defenders can't cope with him. They're full of injuries. They haven't got a manager still. So I think everything's going in our favour. We just can't take them for granted.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a lot harder game than what we might think. And I personally would have gone Ellis Sims for this game because I think he needs to mix up a bit.
Yeah.
It might be that he gets brought in for the Middlesbrough game, so we'll have to wait and see on that. I've got a comment here from Robbie Watson. Just going to bring up. Swansea got plenty of pace. That's my only worry, and we've got the speed to match it. Do you think that's a problem we've got in terms of the speed? Have we got the players that can track back and put in important tackles?
Yeah, to be fair, I think Thomas and Binks are both fairly quick players. Obviously, he's rested Milan. I think Milan's quicker than Latti is. De Silva's quicker than Binks. So I suppose it depends on where Robin sees the threats coming in from, really. But yeah, I think we've got the pace. I think Latti's, to be fair, deceptively quite quick because I'm just trying to think. I think it was Leeds, where he tracked back. Again, a few games before when Fads was in that position, he gave away a penalty. Latti didn't. He managed to keep up with the player, a quite quick player as well. So I think Latti's deceptively quick, and his positioning is brilliant. People that watch this and know what I say about Latti will know that I absolutely love him and he can play anywhere. But yeah, I think we'll be fine in terms of speed. With rather than playing Bidwell on the left, you've got De Silva and you've got Binks and Thomas, which I both think. I think Binks may be slightly quicker than Kitchen anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a good lineup. And like I said, it's about what we do, not about what they do.
I think my only other surprise for me was De Silva ahead of Jake Bidwell. Maybe because of rotation, but for me defensively, Jake Bidwell has been a revelation for us. So, are you kind of surprised he's gone with Jake De Silva in that position?
I am slightly, but whenever Robbins makes a change with Bidwell, it's always De Silva coming on because obviously they're both left backs, which is understandable. Like I said, we can't burn these players out. Bidwell's been in for 5-6 games now, so he's got to make some sort of change to make sure that we're still nice and fresh. So hopefully, I'd rate De Silva. I think he's a good player. Whether he's defensively astute or not, again, that's where it comes, with Binks as well coming in. That's where we may get caught out slightly because of the connection between the two. But we'll have to wait and see. There's no reason why they can't play it. Look, it's a Wales international, so there's no reason why he can't play that position.
Okay, thank you, Stuart, for your comments. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's very, very intriguing game tonight. I think it's a game we can definitely win. I think I've gone for a 2-1 Sky Blues win, which for those who listen, I usually sit on the fence, but on this one, and it might be a dangerous thing for me to say because if we don't win tonight, it's all my fault. So I'm going to take the blame for that. But I'm going for 2-1. I think we're going to win tonight. I think Matty Godden's going to get on the score sheet with Sakamoto. So that's my two predictions. So that rounds up tonight's show. Thanks for listening. Just to say, we've been sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications Limited. who operate in the West Midlands and Warwickshire, and we're partnered by the Anecdote. And just a reminder, we're on the shortlist in the Look Sports Media Awards. So if you go on our social media pages,
please vote for us.
Yeah, please vote for All Things Sky Blue under the Best Club podcast, and the links are on our social media pages. So thanks everyone for listening to tonight's show, and we'll speak to you next week. We'll bring about more details of our upcoming shows as well. So pull out Sky Blues, and fingers crossed we'll get these 3 points. Cheers everyone.
No, I brought him in. My lad, my partner's lad. So he went straight into boxing with his back.